This video will not end until we turn this Legend Bronny James build into an NBA superstar. A build that not only gets 17 cap breakers, but also has access to over 8 million VC. Last video, we went from a 60 overall rookie Bronny James to a 99 overall without spending a single penny on VC and without playing any my career. So I figured after all that, it was finally time to see this build at its full potential. But to get there, it's gonna take a bit of grinding. You see, the thing that makes being a legend so overpowered isn't necessarily the cap breakers that boost your attributes, but more so the insane Hall of Fame and legend badges you unlock with those boosted attributes. And right now, we have none of those, because instead we are going to grind from having the base badges you get from rebirthing a build all the way to max badges, which wouldn't be too hard, except we're doing it without using any badge elevators or any maximum overdrive boost. Why? Because I like to suffer for y'all's enjoyment. So sit back and relax, cause today we're gonna find out how long it takes to fully max out a Legend Bronny James build. First things first, we had to make the build. I debated changing our Legend Seed build to make it a bit better, but ultimately decided to keep the original stats so we could see the build at its full potential. I upgraded to 99 overall using 375,000 of cash outs VC. Sorry Tubby, get your get back. Then I proceeded to look at my badges in absolute disgust, because I knew that without using any badge elevators or the max overdrive boost, that getting these badges to legend would take forever. On the bright side, we do have 17 cap breakers to put on this build. And if y'all don't know, cap breakers basically allow you to increase any stats on your build by a maximum of 5 points. So to make the best use of this, we put our first 5 points on ball handle, which unlocks Hall of Fame ankle breaker, Hall of Fame handles for days, and gold unpluckable, but more importantly gives us access to all the best dribble moves in the entire game, which is something we desperately needed in our last video. If you know, you know. After that, we put 5 points on our steal to get a 96 steal, which unlocked Hall of Fame glove and Hall of Fame interceptor, 2 badges that are going to improve our defense significantly, and then followed that up by putting 2 points on our perimeter defense to unlock Hall of Fame off-ball pass. The reason for this is because a lot of the time when people see we have a high steal rating, they start to avoid us, so being able to guard people off ball is going to be really important for this challenge. And finally, we put our last 5 cap breakers on our speed, just so we can do everything on the court that much faster. Then after evolving our Bronny James build, it was time to put on our dribble moves and our jump shot. Our jump shot being one of 3 nerfs we're gonna give ourselves in this challenge, because we are using Bronny James's jump shot. And despite the releases we put on improving the grades, we still have an F timing stability on this jumper, making it a million times worse than meta jump shots like Patty Mills and Kyrie Irving. But what challenge do you know that's meant to be easy? And don't worry, we'll cover the other 2 nerfs when we come across them. After setting up all of our animations, we changed our player to look like Bronny James, giving us the first ever look at Big Head Bronny. Then we called it a day, as this was just a setup day. Day 1 of the challenge officially starts tomorrow. Day number 1, we loaded into the park, and just like that, Legend Bronny James was born. I wanted to test our luck with the Legend Rewards daily spin, and 2K decided to give me 8 hours of double rep. 2K, I'm a legend! After that hilariously bad wheel spin, I took a look at my badges again, and I realized something. This challenge is going to be way harder than I originally thought. Hear me out, y'all. Badges like Dimer or Set Shot Specialist are gonna be super easy, because all I have to do for those is score or pass the ball. But badges like Pick Dodger or Off-Ball Pest are going to be way harder, because those badges are based off what my opponent does. Meaning if my opponent doesn't set screens on me or doesn't bump into me when they're on offense, my progress for those badges is going to be super low. So right now, I need y'all to comment down below which badge you think is going to take the longest, aka which is going to be the last badge we earn in this challenge. And in return, I will be giving away $100 worth of VC for every 2.5k likes we get on this video to people who comment. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, but you do have to be subscribed to the channel. So drop a like, drop a sub with notifications on, and comment what you think. And don't worry, this isn't some type of bait. I will be actively hearting and replying to the comments I give money to, so you can see that it is 100% legit. Now with that being said, it's time for game 1. Game number 1, and boy do we have a treat to start off this challenge. First off, look at our stats, y'all. Absolutely insane with the legend boost, and we're hoping to put them to good use, starting with our very first green 3 of the challenge off the dribble, followed by a Superman passing lane steal, giving us 2-way tenacity and leading us to sparking yet another 3. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of poetic watching our former 60 overall Bronny James build absolutely cook up stuff like this, but don't worry, we still show glimpses of our former self, missing an easy passing lane steal followed by what would have been a great contact dunk, which reminded me we're doing way too much. We have no badges right now. We need to keep it fundamental. We take our open dunk, then on the other end, we get a beautiful blitz on their point guard, only to get blitzed right back, not once, but twice back to back, absolutely ruining all of our momentum. And if that wasn't bad enough, I come down the court and miss a wide open shot after a great move to get me open. Listen, we're playing pretty good for our first game out, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I am on a legend account. I wanted to come out here and have a perfect game. Sadly, that's just not gonna happen. At 11 to 12, I go for a perfect blitz here, and my player just glitches through the ball, giving them a wide open 3. Hello, 2K, are we good? You know how to answer back with a Dex 3 of my own, but man, I don't care what anybody says. I should have got that steal. After knocking down that clutch 3 at 15 to 14, we take an easy dunk, only to give up an even easier 3 on the other end. And then at 17 to 17, the second nerf of the challenge happens. Can any of y'all in the comments guess what it is before I tell you in a couple games? We do end up capitalizing anyways by hitting the slip, but they answer back with a nice pass back 3-pointer, aka a PB 3-pointer, giving them the lead once again. And now we got a battle, bro. We're gonna keep going back and forth until a winner is decided. 20 to 21, I try to get a passing lane steal. I don't get it. I start getting a couple frustration fouls because there's no way I'm not getting these steals right now. Despite all that, they get a wide open look for game, but he misses it. Unfortunately, they get the rebound, put it back up, securing them a 1-point lead. And then at 22 to 21, I said, you know what? I've had enough. I told my center to pop, and he shot his very first 3 of the game, knocking it down, securing us the win 24 to 21. Ridiculously close game for our first game of the challenge, and trust me, this is just the beginning. The games get even crazier as the challenge goes on. We ended up getting 7% in every badge for this game, but the good news is, unlike the 60 to 99 overall challenge, the results after each game aren't linear. They all depend on how we play and how many stats we put up. So we need to keep that in mind going into game 2. You can see in game 1 we had 15 points and 4 assists, scoring or assisting on every single basket in that game, and I'm looking to do more of the same, starting off the game with a wide open 3-pointer green, and then getting a nice little on-ball steal, activating our glove badge, not once but twice back to back, and then finishing it off with an insane self-lob right over the mascot. These are the type of plays we need if we want to get our badges fast. After seeing that, they tried to double team me and double jump at me, but I still knocked down the green, and right when I was feeling like the man, little Stay Fly decides to end my career. Not only did he dunk on me, he dunked on me so bad I fell to the ground and could not get up. Yeah, so do we delete the build now or later? I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm thinking now, because the possession right after I got destroyed, I ended up missing 3 wide open 3s with a 92 3-point rating. I can't lie to you, the 60 overall version of Bronny James would be disappointed. Even he was shooting better than this. And speaking of disappointed, my own teammate was disappointed. Bro is out here contemplating quitting in the middle of the court. After seeing that, I had to prove to myself that I'm still him, so I take a contested lefty fade in the corner to end the game, finishing the game with 14 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals, earning us a whopping 15% on our silver glove. Game number 3, and we're making good progress, even though our main goal right now is honestly just to shake off the rust. I know in y'all's eyes that might sound crazy because I just posted the other Bronny video 5 days ago, but I haven't been on this build or used this jump shot in over a month at this point. And honestly, you can tell shots I would hit are just not falling. But I am making up for it in other ways, like with this nice looking dunk right here, followed by a crazy green 3 right over the jumping defender, and a fading green 3 in the right corner over his friend in the next possession, ending the game with a solid 20 points while going 60% from the field. And this right here surprised me. That one quote-unquote contact dunk I got earned me a massive 12% in my posterizer bar. That's insane. Sadly, I couldn't be happy about this for too long because someone at 2K made the boss call. This game right here, I was so delayed, I literally could not play the game. Like genuinely, y'all know me. If I was missing, I would just tell you I suck. But when I say that every input I made on my controller was a second behind, I'm not even exaggerating. But hey, it's my fault. I was having too much fun on this game, so it was bound to happen. Between that and the fact that I can't take anything seriously and kept trying to throw self-lobs on every break, we found ourselves in a 20 to 20 game where 2K did one last troll, allowing him to just run up and rip the ball from me, losing us the game 22 to 20 and giving me my first loss as a legend. Listen y'all, it was bound to happen. I'm just mad that this is how it happened. After the game, I reset my Xbox and Wi-Fi, changed my shot feedback to all shots, then loaded back into the Park to play the same team that just beat us. Let's see how close of a game it is when we're not lagging. Yeah, nah, we absolutely destroyed them. The game started off close, mostly because I still can't take anything seriously and kept trying for contact dunks and fades, but the difference is when I'm allowed to hit my shots, none of that matters. I can have fun and still end up winning the game. The actual difference in skill was so bad that we literally end the game by getting a passing lane steal, heat check, deep three in his eye to win the game by a massive 13-point difference. Yeah, this team definitely deserved to beat us early, but the good news is we got 7% towards our Deadeye, Interceptor, and Handles for Days, so we're back making progress. Honestly, I'm just glad to see that we're still elite at having bounce back games after a loss, just like the other Bronny James challenge. But unlike in that challenge, we are a legend now, which means we're not forced to be inconsistent after a 23-point game. Instead, we can just absolutely dismantle this team with an inside-out Bronny James-like offense, ending the game with 16 points while going 100% from the field, earning us another 5 to 7% per badge and getting us closer and closer to our goal. Now, I'm sure at this point of the video, this challenge isn't looking like much of a challenge at all. Yes, it's going to take a good amount of games to max out this build, but we're a legend, so we're gonna dominate every single game, right? Wrong. It's time to talk about nerf number 2, which is actually being a legend. You're not seeing it yet, but when we play more competitive modes like Pro-Am and Stage later on in this video, teams will literally start to triple team us once they see us going off. And you might be thinking, grinding, that's not that big of a deal, just pass the ball. But when the whole point of this video is to gradually earn badges over time, that is actually the biggest nerf imaginable. Luckily, we don't have to deal with that yet, so for right now, we can hit insane shots with heat check, finally breaking the heat check curse. And speaking of, anytime I miss with heat check, I want you to timestamp it and comment sellout grinding in all caps. I'm serious, please shame me for missing with heat check on a legend account. That way I can lock in and have more games like this. 22 points, 8 for 9 from the field, 6 for 7 from 3, and we are rewarded with a massive 16% on all of our badges. Now, we've been making a lot of progress towards our defensive badges, but I think it's time we start to get our finishing badges up. We're catching lob after lob, then at 6 to 3 we catch a nasty contact dunk right over their center, but sadly nowhere near as nasty as this one we attempted right after we sparked this 3. We rise up, go for a one-handed throwdown, knocking him to the ground, but of course 2K gives us the very late glitch, not even giving us a chance to time it. And I'm not gonna lie, I took out my anger from that missed opportunity on the other team. First, I forced him out of bounds on defense, then sparked 3 after 3 after 3, eventually leading me to earning heat check, ending the game with an easy 3 and giving us our first 5-game win streak of the challenge. And that impressive dunking performance doubled our progress to gold posterizer and tripled our progress to aerial wizard, so it was well worth it. And y'all remember when I said teams would focus on me later on because I'm a legend? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they're starting early this game. Look at how they're playing me off the screen, and rightfully so. I promise you, if I was playing against the legend, I would do the exact same thing. I would want someone else on the team to beat me. Sadly, they don't have that option when I get a steal and spark a 3 from nearly half court off of a step back. After that, I can't lie, I was feeling myself and tried to take an actual half court 3 with heat check, and I absolutely bricked it. Y'all know what to do in the comments. Then we finished this pretty average game with 14 points, earning us average results towards our badges. Now at this point in the challenge, I started to realize that Park probably isn't the best method to getting our badges quickly. And later on, I'll find out that I'm exactly right. But for right now, I'm way too committed. No matter how long it takes, I will get my first gold badge from playing Park and Park alone. But in the meantime, let's see who actually plays NBA 2K25. In the comments, can you guess what game mode actually is the most efficient for getting your badges as quickly as possible? I think the right answer is going to shock a lot of people. Spoiler alert, it's not Park, which I hope you can tell after a 22-point performance gave me 9% on Deadeye. After that game, I noticed I'm averaging 18 points per game on this build, and I thought to myself, maybe the reason I'm not getting as much progression is because I'm not getting my teammates involved. So you can see, even though we're in a close game, I'm hitting my teammates as often as possible. I'm still taking my opportunities for highlights whenever I get the chance, but overall, a way more unselfish game than usual, and it was all for nothing. I got the same amount of percent as I did before. Park is unfortunately just not it for badges, and apparently 2K took that personally, because they said, oh, you don't like Park? Bet. then get out, lagging me out of the entire lobby. Listen, Ronnie, my fault, bro. I didn't think it was that deep. Respectfully, though, nobody tells me when I'm done playing. And you already know I am going to take out my anger on whatever poor team we happen to play next. And that is exactly what I did. I knocked down my first 3 threes of the game, giving me heat check, and then with that heat check badge, I green a lightly contested 3 right over the guy guarding me. And I don't stop being an absolute menace there. I play such good defense, he falls to the ground, giving me an easy dunk. That next possession, I rip the ball off him as he's dribbling, cook up on the other end, and knock down an easy green with two-way tenacity. Then finally, I finish off the game with a wide open dunk, ending with 19 points while going 100% from the field, earning me a whopping 17% towards Deadeye. I did all that because 2K made me mad. So don't get me mad and click that red subscribe button, because I know you're enjoying the video so far, and trust me, we're just getting started. Right here, we are in one of the closest games of the entire challenge. Both teams are hitting clutch shot after clutch shot, but the clutchest one comes when we're down 18-19. A 3 wins us the game. So I fake a handoff to my teammate, Dex to the left wing, let it fly over 2 defenders jumping, and green the game-winning 3 like it's easy. After 21 points and a shot like that, I think we can all agree I earned this 15% to Deadeye. Now notice how I said last game was one of the closest games in the challenge? This one right here is probably the closest game, mainly because we start off trailing pretty heavy. We have to claw our way back into it, then at 15-11 we knock down an insanely clutch 3, then we follow that up by making a nice read, picking off the pass and finishing with a contested layup on the other end. And if getting us the lead wasn't good enough, the very next possession we get another passing lane steal that leads to a backdoor lob, giving us a 3-point lead. Then we ice the win with a game-winning 3, finishing with 18 points and 3 steals while going 100% from 3. And after that performance, we are super close to getting our first gold badge. But unlike that close game we just had, we end up absolutely stomping the next team we play, to the point where I don't even have a chance to make any defensive plays. So I really thought I wouldn't unlock a gold badge this game, but to my surprise, we unlocked gold ankle breaker as our very first gold badge of the challenge. It wasn't the badge I necessarily wanted, but I'm just glad we're making progress. And finally, after a long day 1, we are at our very last park game, where we were in for an even bigger surprise. In this game, we did it all. We knocked down shots, we played good defense, we even knocked down a crazy 3 in the corner while falling down, ending this game with 11 points and 3 assists. But the part that surprised me is we unlocked 3 gold badges in this game: gold Deadeye, gold glove, and gold handles for days, which means we ended day 1 with a total of 5 gold badges and are finally ready to compete against higher level opponents. Unfortunately, after that, 2K said, alright, enough warm-up games, now it's time for you to lock in against a double positive team. And lock in is exactly what we did. Not only on offense, by the way, we are still doing it on the defensive end as well, being the Bronny James build that we dreamed and hoped of being in this 60-99 overall challenge. You can see here, bro, we bait the passing lane steal perfectly, hyper follow suit by getting an on-ball steal, then throwing me a lob. You could see the 93 speed kicking in, and we're just absolutely taking down the court. And bro, the offense right here is just a thing of beauty, man. I never thought that we'd be able to play point guard on this build this well, and because of it, we're able to unlock gold posterizer. But now we're against this 7-1 team. Alright, 2K starting to give us the good teams now that we've been winning games consistently. And usually I wouldn't be afraid of a good team, but this screen right here set the tone early on how this game was gonna go. Really, 2K? An illegal screen and we're still counting the 3? Bet, next time we come down the court, I'm gonna tell my center to truck their lockdown so I could get a free 3 too. Something about that play must have sparked some anger in me, because I just go up, blitz their point guard. I don't get the steal, but we do get progress on glove even when we don't confirm the steal, which is good. And then we just get back-to-back nasty dunks on the break, and right when you thought the game was over, they start to answer back. We trade 3s back and forth, but at 14-6, their point guard locks in, okay? He takes the game at his own pace, knocks down 2 back-to-back 3s, bringing them back in the game, which means we have to play fundamental basketball, okay? We gotta hit our slips, we gotta take our 2s when we're there, and we definitely do not need to force 2s like this, letting him get a LeBron chase down block on us. That is not gonna help us. What is gonna help us is at 18-16, we cook both of them for a 3, knocking down the game-winning green, finishing the game 5 for 6, and earning 7% across all our badges. But the tests just keep on coming. We are playing against the 17th ranked team in the world this season with almost 300 wins, and I decide to have the worst game of my entire career in this game. You ever have one of those games where it doesn't even even look like you know what game you're playing? Yeah, that is this game for me. Right now, it's not looking too bad, okay? Right now, we're basically just highlighting what this team was like being 17th in the world. This point guard was nasty. He was cooking off the screen every single time, getting nasty greens. But right here is where it starts to show that this was going to be a terrible game for me, bro. Like, just an absolute awful shot after terrible dribble moves. And then when I try to make something happen afterwards, I get ripped like I'm a little kid playing with the big kids, bro. Like, it looks like I'm not even in my league right now. But just like the 60 to 99 overall challenge, this challenge would be disingenuous if I didn't show you every single game. The good news is that this is by far the worst game I had in this entire challenge, bro. I'm not gonna be making passes like that all the time. I'm not just gonna be sitting in the corner doing nothing. And to make matters worse, while I'm having a bad game, their center was having a monster performance, bro. Anytime he was in the paint, that ball was either his or he would tip it to a teammate. Like you can see right here, he just gets back-to-back offensive and defensive rebounds, just completely dominating. And then to finish off the game, he hammers me with 2 back-to-back screens, leaving his point guard wide open, losing us this game 23 to 16 on an abysmal 2 for 7, 1 for 6 performance. Now, what do y'all think I do after this game? If you said get laid, no, I'm a 2K YouTuber. That just doesn't happen. But I do happen to go off my very next game. I'm playing great defense, getting steals, knocking down deep threes. I'm expanding my bag with fading middies. I'm doing catch and shoots like we did before. I'm ripping the ball right off of people, failing self lobs because I cannot take anything seriously. By the way, I really wish I just did normal dunk meter dunks on those dunks, because with two-way, I definitely would have put him in the rim. But you can see that we're just super comfortable on point guard on this build now, man. We could do it all. Finishing with an insane contact dunk, soaring over the rim, dunking on him, and getting 15% towards glove and interceptor for our defensive performance. After that game, it was finally time to put on a takeover. I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but we had the basic takeover the whole time, so we decided to put on satellite, which is going to increase our midi, our 3, and our speed, I'm pretty sure, as well as give us deep range bomber, which is going to help a lot compared to the basic takeover that does nothing but boost your attributes. We do end up getting heat check again in this game, and you already know we take advantage by absolutely missing it from half court. You know what to do in the comments. But luckily, we make up for it with a nice little cook left wing green 3, and then with our newly acquired deep range bomber, we make up for the missed heat check by knocking down a half court 3, and then the next possession knocking down a nice little corner fade 3 right over the defender, finishing with 17 points and unlocking another 15% towards our badges. Now more competition keeps coming, bro. 21 and 18. All right, we're not gonna get any breaks anytime soon, and luckily we are rising to the challenge. But this one is gonna be a back and forth game. You see me trying to capitalize off a step back there, doesn't fall. It was a great move. 10-cent finish though. We gotta knock those down. But don't worry, I understand it now. Next possession, we actually finish our great move, our great cook, green in the 3. The next possession, we get an on-ball steal. We hit Hyper, and he does this weak little layup. I was making fun of him for this, and the way he answered was just flat out disrespectful. I miss a 3, and he gets a nasty put-back dunk to get me to shut up, bro. We end this game with another 15% towards our badges, getting closer and closer to our first Hall of Fame badge. And then we happen to run into another 18th in the world team. We thought we were going to get a rematch, but these are 3 completely new dudes, and it was actually going to be an even harder game than before. Will we sell the game again, or will we actually rise up to the challenge? They started the game like any other comp team would, playing 3 up, denying our 3s. We still end up knocking down a 3 here, which is huge, but it gets nullified because the point guard on the other team gets a crab 3 on Hyper. Very good shot. Honestly, probably one of the best shots in the game. I try to replicate it by getting my own crab 3, but it doesn't fall. I hated missing that shot. Then they punish me even more for it by knocking down a nice little midi fade. And then after that, we just go back and forth trading buckets. They probably should have blitzed me right here. I'm glad that they didn't, because that would have been a really big swing. But I keep that in mind. I start protecting the ball better. I'm hitting the slips faster. They try knocking down a clutch 3, doesn't fall, which was huge for us since we're up by 2 right now. Then when I come down, I'm about to hit the slip, but he rips me. Luckily, he comes down and misses another 3. Would have been super clutch if he made either one of those 2 threes. Sadly, it's a battle of the sellouts because I come down and miss a 3 as well. Then after that, bro, he drives to the paint, makes Uzi jump, runs to the corner, knocks down a 3, comes back down the next possession, does the same exact thing to Hyper, knocks down another 3 in the opposite corner, and now we are consistently down by 4. We need some clutch plays to get back in this game, and that is exactly what Uzi provides for us, getting a nasty chase down block when we're down by 2. Probably would have iced the game if they made that dunk, but instead we tied up on the other end. Their point guard is deep range bomber, so Uzi's playing super high on him, making him take bad shots. We'll give up the free board, that's fine. We just cannot give up up a 3 right now. They end up taking a back door, going up by 2. I tell Uzi that we have to take a 3 this possession, so I hit his slip. He tries to hit me with a PB. It's not there, but I noticed that they're double teaming me without the ball. I told y'all that they would focus on the legend in competitive games, so I literally told Uzi, hit hyper, set him a screen, it'll be an easy 3, and it happens to be one. Then they try to answer back with a 3 of their own way too quickly, ends up shooting a lightly contested over my face, and we end up winning the game 22-19, putting us 3% away from gold unpluckable. Now this game right here is any 2K player's worst nightmare. We are playing against 2 AIs, or what I like to call them 2 AL players, and the reason I like to call them that is because AIs or AL players are better than 90% of 2K players in the 2K community. They make shots more consistently, they play better defense. For some of the people in the 2K com, their IQ is better than y'all. Sadly, the 2 robots are not good enough to beat us. We end up making progress towards our badges as well as unlocking gold unpluckable, and then we were rewarded with a 12-3 team to get our 10th win in Pro-Am. That's all I wanted, was 10 wins in Pro-Am, and then we can move on to a higher competition. But sadly, this is not gonna be an easy game. You can see that this team knows what they're doing. They're hedging on screens, they're switching everything, they're trying to make our life miserable. Hyper misses me wide open there. Luckily, he hits Uzi, and Uzi finds me later on, so I could get a nice 3 in the left wing. Then this next possession, I do a nasty play. I dribble to the right wing. It looks like my possession is dead because I can't dribble anymore, but I pass fake, get them both to go in the paint, and I green the right wing 3. And then speaking of nasty plays, I drive in the paint, get a nice dunk, which is a warm-up for this dunk right here, where I absolutely put their center in the rim from the baseline. Beautiful contact dunk. Then we do our best Rajon Rondo impersonation, just dotting up our teammates, making sure that everyone gets fed, and we end up winning our very last game of Pro-Am 3v3 pretty decisively, ending the day one step closer to getting our first Hall of Fame badge. But if we want to do it quicker, we're gonna have to switch up the game mode. Day number 3 will be spent in the rec center, and later today we will be catching insane alley-oop dunks, greening from half court with our new deep range takeover, and getting triple teamed full court every single possession. But to get there, we gotta start from the very beginning, and we start off this rec journey with a bang. We drive to the paint and absolutely dunk on their center to start off this game, setting the tone early that Bronny James is officially here. Actually, excuse me, not Bronny James, Legend Bronny James is officially here. And while the clips play in the background showing y'all exactly what that means by Legend Bronny James being here, I think it's finally time that we talk about nerf number 3, aka the third and final nerf of the challenge. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this one is probably an obvious one, but when we started this challenge, we had barely any badges. More specifically, we had badges, but they were all on silver. And if y'all don't know, the difference between a silver and Hall of Fame badge is drastic. Like, I'm talking 10 to 20%. So on a badge like Set Shot Specialist, you are making 10 or 20% more shots. On a badge like Glove, you're getting 10 or 20% more steals, which when you put it in percentages may not seem like much, but what that actually means is that with a silver badge, if you reach for the ball 10 times, you might actually end up getting 0 steals. Whereas if you had it on Hall of Fame, on average, you would get at least 2 steals per every 10 tries. Obviously, it doesn't work out perfect like that. It's only in theory that's how it's supposed to be, but that is actually the third and final nerf of the challenge. The fact that we just don't have our badges. Luckily, that will not be a nerf for long. You see how we're playing right now, bro. We are absolutely cooking, being every random rec player's dream point guard. We're passing the ball around. We're making the right play every time down. We're getting rewarded for it. Obviously, our teammates are looking for us because they know that we're trying to get our badges. But at the same time, I'm looking for them, and it gives the vibe that, like, you know what? They're rewarding me for rewarding them, which is exactly how the point guard position should be played in the rec center. All of y'all that play random rec and you run point guard, stop trying to drop 50 points out the gate every time you load up, bro. You do not have to prove that you're him every single random rec game you play. I promise you, if you instead just get your team involved, make the right reads, make the right plays, they will love you a lot more than if you go out there scoring 50 points on 145 shots. Please, for the 2K community's sake, if you agree with me, drop a like on the video to let them know. Now, while I was too busy yapping, the other team was making a comeback. They tie the game at 71 going into the 4th quarter, bro, and I am not trying to lose my first rec game out. That is just a bad omen. Luckily for me, neither is Hyper, bro. You just see him going absolutely off. I'm over here trying to cook, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just feed the hot hand every single possession, and that is exactly what I do, bro. I just keep hitting him and hitting him. He keeps knocking it down. Eventually, he does show that he's human in a few of these clips. He does end up missing a couple shots, but the performance he put on and the fact that I was willing to give him the ball so often actually puts this game back back out of reach, giving us a chance to farm this team for more badges, bro. We start doing midi fades, start passing the rock a little bit, but ultimately our goal in this game was to score 100 points our first rec game, which we end up doing, scoring 31 of them by myself, then getting 12 assists, earning us an insane 30+% on all of our badges. Yeah, if you guessed that the rec center was the best way to get badges, congratulations, you are exactly right. Rec center is by far the most effective way to get your badges. Now, unfortunately, after such a dominant game, you know that this next game is not gonna be too great. It's just the simply grinding curse, bro. I should have known after they made their first shot off a white that something was gonna go wrong in this game. But low-key, real quick, can y'all timestamp this right now and guess what is gonna happen in this game? Are we gonna lose? What type of misfortune am I talking about right now? Is Legend Bronny James gonna tear a virtual ankle and not be able to return back to the game? I'm honestly just not gonna spoil it, bro, because what happens is absolutely insane. And to be honest with you, I'm not even mad at it. It's not like I was having a great game to start out this game anyways. Nothing I try to make works in this game, bro. I try knocking down shots, they won't go in. I try doing contested layups, they won't go in. Nothing starts to fall until late in the first quarter. I start to make some shots, getting my confidence back, reminding myself that I am on a legend build right here, only to get humbled once again by getting blitzed and getting the ball stolen from me. Now, I want you to pay attention to something. I was at an A- when the ball got blitzed. Then right after, I get a random charge call when I'm running down the court. You could argue that he was there. I'm not too mad at that. But after that, I randomly decide to get 2 back-to-back fouls, bro. I don't know why, but my teammate grade is absolutely plummeting because of these stupid decisions I'm making. And it doesn't help that just because I got a nice little open dunk that I try to yam on the dude down low, giving me even a worse teammate grade. Follow that up with another frustration foul, and our teammate grade went from an A- to a C+ in just 1 quarter. Now, the thing about teammate grade is that it doesn't accurately depict how you're doing in the game. Yes, I'm having a bad game here, but am I having a C+ type game? No, bro. I'm catching lobs, I'm knocking down threes, I'm making a positive impact for my team. Am I making mistakes? Yes, bro. I'm missing a lot of layups, I'm getting some turnovers, I'm getting a ton of fouls that I don't need, but overall, I have 20 points at halftime, bro. And luckily, the game agrees with me. At around 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter, we have our teammate grade back to an A-. So if you thought we were gonna get graded out in this game, don't worry, that's not what happens. What we do is we miss another shot with heat check, not breaking the curse once again. And then right after that, we get taken out of a contact dunk, and I was pretty mad about that, but not nearly as mad as I was after this happened. Can somebody explain to me where I got my final foul from? Because I don't know what y'all saw, but that is not a charge. He was going for a reach and then just flopped backwards, and now I'm kicked out of the game, forced to spectate my team. Absolutely ridiculous foul call. If any of y'all timestamp this moment and spam ha 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 in all caps, I promise you, you are blocked from this channel. Luckily, when you get fouled out this year, you still get badge progress, and we got a massive 60% towards Aerial Wizard, unlocking us Gold Aerial Wizard, and now we are 3% away from our very first Hall of Fame badge. Which, you know what that means, bro. We have a new goal unlocked. Our only focus in this game is to unlock our Hall of Fame badges, alright? We want to go into the stage, yes, the stage, we're gonna play the stage after this, with at least 2 Hall of Fame badges, because, bro, those people are not messing around. They're gonna be on maxed out 99 overall builds with all of their badges, so I want to be able to replicate it as much as I can. And even though we are not a 99 overall maxed out build, we are playing like one, which is a beautiful thing to see, bro. Like, I swear, if y'all watch the 60 to 99 overall video, you have to be watching this video like a proud father, bro, because that is exactly what I'm doing right now. I am absolutely cheesing watching what this build can do, mainly because it's just so off meta. You can probably tell by all the missed contact dunks that this build is not meant to be doing all this, bro, but we've gotten so used to it. We've gotten so used to the germ moves, the jump shot, everything that looks and plays like Bronny James, that we're honestly just hooping, and you absolutely love to see it. But enough glazing this Bronny James build. It is finally a close game in this game, and me and Hyper put on an absolute duo clinic. If there's one thing I need y'all to do after watching this video, it is find yourself a duo that plays off of you this well, bro. Me and Hyper have been playing together for years now, probably since 2K20, I would have to say. And you can honestly just tell that we've been playing together for 5 years, bro. Every time I cut for the lobby, he hits me. Every time he's open, I hit him. It's just a beautiful thing to see. And we end that unselfish performance with our first Hall of Fame badge being Hall of Fame handles for days. I didn't ask y'all which badge we were gonna get the quickest, but I honestly did not expect it to be handles for days. I thought it was gonna be unpluckable. But we officially have our first Hall of Fame badge. Now, my question to y'all is, what is gonna be our last badge that we unlock? Have any of y'all changed your answers after seeing what we've gotten so far? If the answer to that is yes, don't worry, you can timestamp it right now, change your answer, but this is the last chance you're gonna get in the entire video, bro. After this point, you are locked in on what you think is the hardest badge to get in NBA 2K25. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the answer might surprise you because it definitely surprised me. What also surprised me is how many fouls I end up drawing in this game. Now, the first thing you're gonna notice when I'm at the line is that I do not have on Bronny James's free throw, and the reason for that is it's literally not in the game. It'll be in the game next year, so we might have to run back this challenge next year. Drop a like and drop a sub notifications on if you want that to happen. But unfortunately, it's not in the game this year. So instead, we put on Steph Curry's free throw, which if y'all don't know is one of the best free throws in the entire game. If you have no free throw rating, you can still green consistently. And even when you don't green and you shoot an early, you can still make a 52% free throw like it's nothing. Easily one of the best free throws in the game. We get a funny number, 69% on that one. We still knock it down. Love to see it. And then we finally hit our first heat check 3 in the rec center. That is nothing compared to the heat check 3s we are gonna hit pretty soon, bro. Trust me, it gets insane. All I gotta say is this deep range bomber that I have on right now is definitely gonna be put to use in about 2 minutes here. But until then, we're gonna keep trying to poster people. We're gonna keep failing because 2K25's dunk meter is just honestly terrible. The most inconsistent thing on the planet right now, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, you'd have better luck winning the lottery back to back than you would knocking down 10 dunk meters in a row on this game, which is honestly absurd to say considering this is 1 year after 2K24 where dunk meter was OP. Regardless of how inconsistent it is, you can see that we still making it work. And then once they start playing the paint more, we just start knocking down jumpers, bro. We are a point guard at heart, okay? We're not a slasher, we're not an old head. We can shoot the ball, and we can shoot the ball well, honestly. You see here we have 33 points on 70% from the 3, earning ourselves player of the half. And then we come out the half actually being a slasher, unlike what I just said, dunking on the center in the paint, one of our best contact dunks of the entire challenge. And then we just go back to our roots, knocking down shots, getting steals, Hyper unselfishly giving me the ball back because he knows I have heat check. We knock down another heat check 3. Then at this point, bro, we just start to flood them. So we decide, you know what? When this quarter is over, we are gonna have a blast in the 4th quarter. We finish off the quarter strong, making a couple threes, getting a couple dunks, and then we start off the 4th quarter by having a straight lob fest, a Chris Paul to Blake Griffin type show. Then once we made them respect our lob threat in the paint, they start to back up, which means it's time to start raining threes like we're a prime Steph Curry build, bro. We are 6'2", okay? We are 6'2", and 6'2" was 100% the meta point guard height on NBA 2K25. Now, yes, we're not built like a 6'2", like we don't have a 99 three-pointer, we don't have a 95 ball handle without Legend, which would make it a 99 now, which is what most 6'2s would do if they were Legend. But we have enough to consistently knock down half-court 3 after half-court 3, expanding the range more and more every time we shoot it, eventually leading these dudes to have to be forced to triple team us up the court. And it still doesn't work, bro. We pick up the ball, hit a shimmy in their face, most disrespectful thing you can do to a team that is triple teaming you full court, by the way. And then we knock down the 3, ending the game with a blowout, and then unlocking us not 1, not 2, but 3 Hall of Fame badges all in one game. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say 3? Yeah, nah, I meant 4 or 5. I'm not even sure, bro. It wouldn't show me on the screen, but I checked at the end of the game, and we have a total of 7 Hall of Fame badges and 3 gold badges, which means not only are we almost at the end of this challenge, but we are also finally ready to compete in this stage. Day number 4 was supposed to be all about this stage, but by the end of the day, not only will we be ISOing for half-court 3s in this stage, we will also be doing it in the park as well, for reasons that I'll explain later. But first, we have to start our day at this stage, and we have a lot to talk about here. First of all, what is with us in always trying to set a statement the very first game, bro? Like, I get it. If we made this 3 right here, we would have been him. But man, like, taking that as our first shot is insane. Now, obviously, this is our first game of the day. They have been in here streaking, running up their VC counts, so they're gonna be warmed up. We are the ones that have to catch up and play as well as them, not the other way around. So we're already at a disadvantage, not even including the fact that they started with ball because they obviously had the court and we pulled up on them. Now, one thing you need to know about the stage is that every possession matters. So when we get stupid turnovers like this off a screen or a bad pass, or they get second chances off an offensive rebound and are able to capitalize with a 3, those are insanely huge swings. And the only way to combat huge swings like that is to make even bigger plays ourselves. Whether it's a contested 3 or deep 3s, we're gonna have to knock down these tough shots to get back in the game. And not even that is gonna be enough because, bro, they can do the exact same thing whenever they get down. They can make a tough shot and make it a game once again. Listen, we knew going in that the stage was not gonna be easy, okay? This is where the best of the best players in the world play against each other for something that cost real life money. There's not going to be people in here messing around unless they're on the 500 court, and even then sometimes people take that like their life is on the line. I honestly wish I started taking it more seriously, because when I saw that two-way badge I thought I could make anything. Obviously that is not the case. Then the biggest play of the game happens when the dude throws the ball right at my face and my big head brawny self doesn't catch the ball, bro. Instead we tip it, go for a dive, and they get a free 3 because of that play. Then following that, just to show how one-sided 2K can be sometimes, we make a wide open pass to my center in the paint and it hits off the back of his head, and that's a turnover where they score once again. Again, y'all, when stupid big swings like that happen, you have to make an insane play, which I do. I dive out of bounds, saving the possession, which would have been a big play, but unfortunately Hyper gets blitzed anyways, and then they get a 3 off of it, putting us down by 4. 20-16 is not a place you want to be in a 2500 VC stage game. For the third time this game, the only way we have a chance to win is if we make a big play, and that is exactly what I do. I run up, I blitz the dude before he even gets a chance to dribble the ball, but sadly the next possession they do the exact same thing to me. I don't even get to use my takeover, and we end up losing this game 22-18. Now listen, losing your very first stage game is not how you want to start off your stage run, but I'm honestly not too mad at that loss, okay? We competed pretty well, we played well with our Legend Bronny James build, which is beautiful to see, not only because of the beginning of this challenge where we were kind of missing a lot, but in the beginning of this 69 and overall, we couldn't do half of what we're doing here. So seeing the progress is beautiful, but at the end of the day, we're here at this stage to win. We're not here to be flashy with these dunks. We're not here to make crazy threes. We are here to load up the game and win some more VC. That is the one and only goal. Yes, I want to put on an entertaining video for y'all, but that is going to happen in editing, okay? Not in the game. Or at least that's what I thought, because when we're down 16-11, I take a crazy fading to the left corner 3 right over the dude's eye, knock that down. Then I also take it upon myself to get a clutch stop, making him shoot a lightly contested. He is not knocking that shot down. And all of a sudden, the 5-point deficit is now a tie game, but not for long. Their point guard says, you know what, bro, y'all want to tie the game? No. Now we're up 3. How are y'all gonna answer? And we answer by taking a free slip, once again relying on our defense. It didn't work out last game, but can it work out this game? Yes, it can. Hyper makes an amazing read, getting the passing lane steal. Then on the other end, he knocks down a deep contested 3 to win us the game 21-19. I had a pretty solid game, 5 for 7 performance, 12 points, and we end up getting one of the last few remaining badges we needed, which is Gold Shifty Shooter. The only badges we have left is Off-Ball Pest on Gold and a Movable Enforcer on Gold. I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna give y'all one last chance. 50-50 shot. Which one is gonna be harder to get? Off-Ball Pest or a Movable Enforcer? Take your guesses in the comments below. I'm not trying to give y'all a hint or mislead you, but you can see that Off-Ball Pest only went up 2% after this game, bro, alright? Do with that information what you will. Now, I don't know if y'all are gonna agree with me on this or what, but whenever you play this stage, it feels like a game of momentum. If you come out here and lose your very first stage game by 15 points, it feels like you're gonna lose every single stage game you try to play. But the fact that we lost our first stage game by 3, then we bounced back, won a close game, it just feels like everything is set up for us to go on a massive streak in this stage. I'm hoping that feeling is true. We are playing like it right now. We are absolutely dominating this team, so much so that we end up winning this game 22-13, and watch our Movable Enforcers shoot up. Once again, bro, I'm not trying to mislead you, and I'm also not trying to deter you for picking this badge as the hardest badge or Off-Ball Pest as the hardest badge, but all I'm saying is we jumped up 25% in one game. Off-Ball Pest only went up 2%. I can't wait till y'all know the final result so you know how funny this part is to me right now, bro. But listen, for right now, all I can do is show y'all me going off game after game in this stage. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the 500 court of the stage, so it's not the most competitive. Also, one thing that I realized midway through the challenge is Cash Out has a lot of super young fans, bro. Every time I went to game chat, it was some kid screaming at me, telling me that I was garbage. Which, spoiler alert, is actually one of the reasons we go back to the park. More on that later. But after those couple wins, you can see our Off-Ball Pest is still at 35%. I forgot one other badge, Slippery Off-Ball is at 71%, but spoiler alert, that one is not going to be the hardest one to get. We're going to get it pretty easy. But Off-Ball Pest being at 35% still, you would think that there's another 45 minutes left in this video. But that's not exactly how things end up shaking out. Again, I'm not going to spoil too much, bro. We're going to get there when we get there. But for right now, I hope you're enjoying this highlight show we're putting in the stage. It's honestly looking like we're still playing park in some of these games, bro. Like, this team has 0 points right now, bro. Like, 0 points in this stage. With their VC on the line, they are scoring 0 points. Do y'all understand how insane that is? If my team loaded up to score 0 points in a stage game, they would never be my team ever again. can. And in those highlights, you saw a very first glimpse of how far we could shoot with deep range bomber in this stage. It gets even farther than that, don't worry, but we end this game 7 for 9, 5 for 6 from 3 with 19 points. Then afterwards, I decided to change up my max plus ones. I wanted to be faster to get open against these stage lockdowns, so I put on Legend Lightning Launch, and then we saw the 2500 court was on a 2-game win streak, so we decided to pull up, and that was probably the biggest mistake we've ever made. We found out exactly why they've been winning games, as they absolutely flood us 21 to 13, but we do end up getting another 7% to our movable enforcer, so considering we have 8.5 million VC on this account, I'm counting that as a W. Now normally after a loss, you would see me just commentate over an absolute flood of a game where we have 23 points, 9 for 9, and we just torch the other team, right? Well, unfortunately, this is where we break that pattern. We are in a super close back and forth game that is only going to be won by precise passes, good baits, good hedges, good helps, and most importantly, good team chemistry, okay? We need to play like a team to win this game. This is one of those few stage games that we're not going to win just because I'm a legend. We are at the 1500 VC stage court, so it is going to be a little harder than the 500, but fortunately, we do end up winning this game 22 to 18. And then something crazy happens after. You see all of our badges say NA, which of course means non-applicable. Now, seeing this made me think that somehow we just jumped 50% on all our badges and now we're finished with the challenge. But what I found out when I stepped off was actually what that means is that we didn't activate any of our badges remaining in that game, which means we made zero progress in that game. All we did was add 1500 VC to the pool of 8.5 million VC that we already have. And trust me, y'all, that is not my goal here. One, it's not my account, okay? I don't care about cash outs VC. Cash out, I don't care if you're mad, bro. Cry, Tubby. I am here for badges and badges alone. So after I get another NA performance after this game, I went through and checked all of my badges to see that we actually did randomly get slippery off-ball and off-ball pest in one of those 7 stage games in a row we won. But we still have to get a movable enforcer, making a movable enforcer the absolute hardest badge to get in NBA 2K25, at least for a 6'2" point guard build. Now to get this final badge, I decided we should go back to the park to finish the challenge where we started, and unfortunately for me, that was the wrong decision. Not because of anything gameplay wise, we play perfectly fine in the park, okay? The park is honestly on easier settings than the stage, so we should be able to green way easier here. But I say unfortunately because these 3 right here are the biggest trash talkers I've ever met. They were talking absolutely insane, and I don't even have a bad game here. You'll see the stat sheet at the end. I'm pretty sure I went 2 for 4 from 3 with 10 points. But the things these kids were saying was insane, bro. They were saying I'm a legend, I should be doing more, I'm trash, he's better than me. Just a bunch of tomfoolery happening in my ear. The good news is we do get 94.6% to a movable enforcer. The bad news is that these dudes made me mad. So whenever we play against them, not this game, but the game after this, trust me, you are in for a treat. And honestly, you're in for a treat this game too, because I stupidly thought that this was going to be my last game of the challenge. We are 5% away from maxing out our movable enforcer. We've seen it jump 15% in some games, so I figured, you know what, bro, if I just bump him on defense, this is probably going to be the last game, and let me try and show out. And show out I did, bro. I show exactly what it means to be a legend 6'2" point guard, more specifically a legend 6'2" Bronny James Build. Okay, you gotta put some respect on his name. And in this game, not only did I unlock heat check, but with heat check and deep range bomber, I knocked down not 1 3 from half court, but 2 threes from beyond half court, going 9 for 9 from the field, 5 for 5 from 3, obviously not missing a single shot while attempting crazy 3-pointers like that. Just a super impressive game and what would have been a perfect game to end off on, but unfortunately we still have silver immovable enforcer. So now it's time to play the trash talkers once again, but this time instead of treating them like any other game because I was just trying to finish this challenge, I took this game super personally, bro. I took this game like they made fun of my mother. Okay, like that is how serious I am taking this game. I took this game like someone came up to me and just drop kicked me in the shin for no reason, bro. Like that is how serious I am taking this game. Do y'all understand how serious I'm taking this game yet? Alright, cool, then let me calm down. But listen, bro, we have an absolute master class of a game, just showing the sheer levels between the skill level of me and the skill level of these dudes. Yes, I'm on a legend account, yes, I have an advantage, but you can just see from the dribble moves, the way I'm confidently taking every shot, the way I'm breaking them down, that these dudes are not even in the same vicinity of of skill level on this game. Listen, I'm sorry solo WKE35 bro, but you're trash, okay? And you know what's funny? At the end of the game, they actually went into game chat. The other two people on his team apologized and they just said, you know what bro, cash out, you got it, you're actually nice. This solo dude is actually the one that's trash, my bad. So they apologized, which makes them good in my book. But the point guard was still talking crazy. So to you, Mr. Point Guard, hold that 23 points on your head. Now with that out the way, it is time for our actual final game of the entire challenge. After this game, we will have went from no badges, or at least minimum badges, which is all silvers after a rebirth, to max badges on our Legend Bronny James build. And I decided, you know what bro, since this is the last game of the challenge, I want to do it all ISO. Another factor that made me want to do it all ISO is we're actually playing against Anthony Edwards. So we have Bronny James versus Anthony Edwards, maybe a matchup we'll see in the future in the real NBA. But for right now, I need to take advantage of my opportunity to compete in this matchup, and that is exactly what I do. We absolutely torched this poor Anthony Edwards build over and over again on the ISO, making deep half-court threes with deep range bomber, ending the game with 15 points, 6 for 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from the 3. Our badges all say NA once again, so we load into a park to check if this time it is finally legit, and it actually turns out it is. We officially have max badges and have completed yet another challenge with our Bronny James build. Now if any of y'all are curious what it looks like on your player card when you're on a Legend account, look at how many Hall of Fame and Legend badges we have on this, bro. It looks insane. And once again, this is nowhere near an optimized Legend build. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst Legend builds of all time, if I'm being completely real. Like I've said multiple times in this video, we don't have a 99 ball handle, we don't have a 99 3-point rating, we don't have a 99 steal, we don't have a 99 perimeter defense. Things that would be super easy to get with 17 cap breakers, we just don't have because it doesn't reflect Bronny James, and I wanted to keep it as realistic as possible. After completing the challenge, I decided to check cash out stats for some reason. I honestly don't know why, but in my head, my around 40 to 50 games it took to complete this challenge affected his stats in some way. Just to be clear, it did not, bro. He has like 14,000 games. Bro needs to get a life. But what it did affect was my morale. Not only did we complete 2 challenges with a Bronny James build, but we made 2 banger YouTube videos out of it. If y'all have not watched the 60 to 99 overall no money spent, make sure to click on it right now, because if you think this video was good, that video is a million times better. And don't worry y'all, I am not done grinding yet. We are gonna finish out December strong. Tomorrow I have a Legend Wembanyama video. You can see right here me pulling up the build. Don't worry, in game it looks much more like Victor Wembanyama. Alright, right there it looks like Victor Bemby instead of Victor Wemby. But we have a video on him dropping tomorrow, and then on the 31st I have a special collab video, dropping for y'all that may include a specific father-son duo. So make sure you're subbed with notifications on so you don't miss out on either of those. But anyways y'all, that is it for me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to go take the fattest nap of all time. So thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, keep grinding.
Ballin', 2K we never be falling. Rachel she never be calling.